Welcome to Valuu Spotlight, a series where your host Ryan Purvis, joined with a guest, will discuss products that they use in their daily lives.
Yeah, so I've started using Perplexity, which is this one. And I really like Perplexity because I get a daily brief from this, which I didn't know it would do. And if I have an idea for something, which I've had a few, so I said, explain like LLM, RAG, and AI concepts. So it'll go and give you the answer. So that's the question I asked. It'll go give you the answer, but then it'll give you all the websites that it's polled to give you the answer.
Yeah.
Which I quite like. Now, if you go and do the same thing with ChatGPT generally, this is quite funny. So my daughter talks to ChatGPT, and we use ChatGPT for a lot of things. As you see here on the left-hand side, I've got a whole bunch of custom GDP. So it's definitely worth, in my point of view, to pay for it. Perplexity I get for free with Revolut, which was like bonus because that's another $20 you don't have to spend. And I like to create the GDPs because then you can go and train it. Like here, I've got my value CISO and my value GDP. So all the stuff that I've built as a framework, if I just go and edit this GDP, I've uploaded material in here that explains that, okay, you can upload 10 files. But that's how you train it to basically answer your questions. And then what I really like about this is that I'll come and talk to my GDP and say, okay, tell me how to turn around a failing digital transformation project using our methodology. And of course, this is a demo, so I know it's going to work. But it's going to, there we go. It's going to use all the components of our tool, and it's going to give you all this stuff. Now, our plan in the version 2 of the product is to incorporate this kind of stuff into the product, and you'll have a knowledge base, and it'll be leveraged. But the other thing we've used it for is a book. So this is Dark Thunder. This is we've talked about it on the podcast before. This is something we've trained for a couple of years now, and what I do with the kids every night. And my daughter really loves to talk to ChatGPT. She calls it bald guy because when you hit the little speaker thing, it's a ball. And I think, because her language skills aren't quite there yet. I think she's saying ball guy, but it comes out as bald guy. And it's actually a girl she's talking to, but she calls it the guy. And they'll have a conversation and they'll talk. And I mean, I've recorded on video. They'll talk for hours, literally, backwards and forwards. And she'll say something and then that's something. But part of what we do is we say, draw the picture. So it will draw the picture in context of what we think. And, my daughter's a big Frozen fan, so she gets Frozen. But, with my son, and we've done lots of these, he's far more interested in Dark Thunder as a type of machine or a vessel. And then what I really love about it is, you just ask it to write a story for you, and it writes a story, and then it can tell you the story. And the kids can interact with it and say, give me, like there's with Spidey, but obviously copyright thing you've got to watch out for. So you have to say something similar. Now we said Santon Tower, we're meeting somewhere in Johannesburg, but it did a pretty good representation of a city. So it's a lot of fun for the kids. And just hang on a second. Hello, Mealy. Are you coming to join us? She's homesick from nursery. So come and join us. Wave to everyone. So she has a lot of fun with this. And as tools go, I think it's one of the better tools to just do stuff in. And Perplexity, obviously, as well. I've used a bit of Gemini and a bit of Grok as other tools. But they're the same in some respects. They do some things a bit better. Grok's much better at being real time. The thing you to watch out with Perplexity is that it picks up a lot of satire websites as well, which can be, obviously you got to be careful with.
I'm trying to think what I've used AI for. I definitely use it a lot at uni.
Oh, wait, hang on. This is the coolest tool ever. This is Napkin AI. And I use this all the time. So you go and I didn't like the name took me a while to click on. But if you go and take, let's go pick up some text. There we go. Base definition of done. Right. So this is some sort of businessy thing. Right. So if I go and copy this, for example, and I go paste this in here, it'll give you this little lightning bolt and it'll generate images for you.
Wow.
And then you get a choice of images to play with. I mean, I think this tool's free. I think I just asked for access and I got access to it. And then as you pick a style, you get different variations. I quite like this, for example, like that hand-drawn effect. I think it's amazing. And then once you've got it, like here, you can then still do stuff to it. Like you can change the colors, you can mess with all that. And then I haven't played with some of the other stuff because this is actually just good enough for what I want to do typically. And then you can just export it as an image into a thing. Now I mean, obviously there's things like Notion has its own built-in AI, but I find that just a little bit too restrictive for me.
Yeah, it does what you need at the time, but it doesn't answer questions quite like the original chat
Yeah.
GPT does. And yeah, we definitely, all the students use chat a lot more than any other AI. So I think that's the one that I've definitely used the most out of AI tools.
But then do you still take, I mean, even though you're using it, do you still take whatever it gives you and then put it back in?
Yeah. If I was to take what chat gave me and put it into an essay, I'd get failed on it because they can detect AI now in your essays. So it's one of those things where I use it for help on, I don't know, can you expand this point for me? And then I'll go, oh, that's what they want me to do. Or can you quickly write me out an essay plan and how many words need to be allocated for each bit? And then I'm like, "Oh, makes sense. You know, if you just need a quick definition."
I'm really a fan of Perplexity at the moment.
Yep.
And the thing that I like about Perplexity is if you were to compare it, if you were to do a search in Google versus a search in Perplexity, my instinct is that the search in Google will always be biased to the AdWords that have been purchased.
Yeah.
And the page ranking. So you're always going to get the most commercially viable answer to your question. Whereas what I like about Perplexity is contextually it'll give me the best answer that I'm looking for, and it'll give me all the websites that are related. So, but the challenge with both is you still have to trust but verify what you've got, because there's definitely a level of bias in the either way. What I'm really haven't tried out, what I'm really excited to try out is this deep research functionality that's coming out. In fact, I did do it yesterday with a question. Let me see if I can remember what the question was. Yeah, so I did a deep research on return on value. And let me show you. So I asked the question and I said, give me a deep research on return on value. And what it did is it basically started out going very, very simply. And then, now that I look at it today, I mean, yesterday was 2 lines. Today it's this.
Yeah, it keeps adding stuff.
And the funny thing is, I did all this stuff using ChatGPT, and it took me like 2 hours to do it. So it was still really, really quick. And I knew what I wanted to get. I knew I wanted to get some of this Monte Carlo simulation, causal AI. I wanted all those things in there, and I got all those things in there. But it took me 2 hours doing it manually with ChatGPT. If I did it manually without ChatGPT, it would probably take me 2 weeks. And what this did for me was literally, I just let it go, dude. I gave it a sentence.
Yeah, and it's just run wild.
And there we go. I did 15 steps. So here's what it started off, and then it carried on reading, finding, searching. This is amazing. This is going to change so many things, and this kind of links into stuff I've said in other episodes. Where if we're talking in a session like we have Fathom talking now, if I say something like, "Oh yeah, we need to go and research return on value and digital transformation," this should trigger this to be triggered to go. This thing should happen in the background. Yeah. And at the end of the meeting, you should get a separate document saying, here's what I found out about this thing. Because that'll just save you, I mean, incalculable amounts of time.
So Perplexity is the one we're recommending in this video.
Yes. I think that's my favorite by far. And it's only because I haven't spent a lot of time in Grok or Gemini. Gemini is good. I talk with Gemini a lot. But I think Perplexity has just hit the mark for me. It's made it to the front screen of my phone, which is very hard to get on. I only allow a certain amount of apps on my front screen. In fact, I only have one screen on my phone. I don't have lots. All the apps are hidden if they're not on the front screen. Whereas ChatGPT never made it there. To give you an idea. And I pay for both. I'm happy to pay for both.
Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed. Make sure you subscribe to see other product reviews, founders' conversations, and podcast episodes.